Hi, and welcome to another training video from XMPRO. Today we will be looking at how to use the range slider. The range slider is a control that can be found in the basics section of the blocks. The range slider is a number-based control which has handles that you can drag up and down a line. There are two modes, range and point. Range has two sliders and outputs two values, and point has one slider and only outputs one value. You can choose whether to show the blue line on the range slider. Visibility is self-explanatory. You can choose whether to show labels below or above the range slider. You can choose the label format, which has a large number of options here. For instance, percent will change 0.5 to 50% and 0.99 to 99%. Or you can just leave the label format blank and it will just show the number. There are tooltips. You can either show them on hover or always. The tooltip position can be chosen, top or bottom. And the tooltip format, which is the same as the label format. In behavior, we have the minimum value. So if I put that as -100, then you can see that 0 is now in the middle of the slider. And a maximum value, both of these can be dynamic or static values. If you have a data source, the dynamic value will be chosen from the column that you choose. Step is to what nearest value the slider will end up on. So if I put 10, then I drag it around and it'll jump to 0, it'll jump to 10, and then it'll jump to 20. If I put this at 100, if I drag it to -51, it'll drag it to -100, and if I drag it onto -49, it'll drag it up to 0. And there's read-only and disabled, which is self-explanatory. This is the values. You can set the starting value. So if I set this to 50, now you can see that the start value is on 50, and then if I put 75, the end value will be on 75 in the range slider. Alternatively, if you choose point mode, there will only be one value in here. I need to save this first. And if we launch, here's the slider, -100 to 100, and it's snapping on 100s. So I drag it down, -100, snap. And this is the step. The tooltip, you can see when I'm hovering over the value, it's showing the tooltip. This is what I've chosen on hover. And that's about it. This has been how to use the range slider.